very delayed on my part.
Welcome
back. Welcome back to the Veteran and Rookie Podcast. This is your veteran speaking.
This is not your veteran speaking. Welcome back, guys.
Slowly becoming a veteran because we start off every episode the exact same way now.
Do we?
Yeah, where I'm like, oh, you're a rookie, but you're getting better so that you're not that way. But in the end, at the end of the day, you're always going to be the rookie. You're always going to be my rookie.
Kill yourself.
Considered. Today we're going to be ranking our top wide receivers.
Top 32.
Yes, there's other news going on in the NFL.
Don't care.
We don't care, okay? Wake us up when football season starts.
Football.
This is like my favorite part of the offseason. No, free agency is a lot of fun.
It's pretty fun.
But just go follow someone on Instagram and you can get caught up on everything.
Yeah, better news there.
I don't think anything huge has happened since the last time we recorded. Oh, there was one thing. Frick, what was it? Oh, the Aaron Rodgers news. That happened on Wednesday, the day after we recorded.
What is that?
The Aaron Rodgers says he wants to play for the Jets. But since then, nothing has changed. And so we'll see if he goes to the Jets. I mean, everyone's saying that he will, and it looks like he will. But it doesn't sound like the Jets want to give up their first-round pick, and the Packers have a good chunk of leverage here. So they're okay with just chilling right now, or at least until the draft to get some kind of a deal done. As a Packers fan, I would like to get the first-round pick of the Jets. I mean, if we don't get a first-round pick for Aaron Rodgers, I will be a little bit upset. I mean, how can you call yourself the greatest player in franchise history and not even be worth a first-round pick? For real. So if the Jets actually want to win some games, they'll send over the first-round pick number 13 in the draft. It's not even that high of a pick. Come on, send it over. I mean, it's basically just a waste of space, honestly.
Benea's upset.
No, I'm happy that they're going to give us this garbage draft pick. Send it our way. So, yeah, we're going to be doing our top 32 wide receivers, similar to last episode, except last time we did it with running backs. This time, wide receivers. Are we ready to go? Ready to rumble?
I like letting you talk just by yourself because you just...
This is what goes on inside my head, all the time.
You turn into like a babbling idiot.
Yeah, like I said, all the time in my head. That's how it is.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh gosh,
I guess
I'm
we'll
so
start
autistic.
us off.
All right. Who is your number 32 receiver? Also, this time, John is not solely going off of my list and then editing it as his own. So hopefully, our top 5 and our bottom 5 receivers will be different.
I kind of hope our top 5 are similar, though, because if it's not the same, then we're kind of both stupid.
I mean, if you got Christian Watson in your top 5, then yeah, we are about the same then.
Yeah, I got Chris Godwin in my 32 spot.
32 spot, solid number 2 receiver for the Buccaneers. He didn't play for a chunk of this season. He was hurt, and he still got to the 1,000-yard mark.
Yeah.
So pretty impressive there. And I think he's sticking around in Tampa Bay. We'll see. It looks like they're going full-on rebuild mode, and if they do that and say they throw to Mike Evans and then even Chris Godwin, it's like, then you're in some trouble. But that's a really good 1-2 punch to have at wideout.
Yeah, for sure. Just over 1,000 yards, like you said, 3 touchdowns. Not bad.
Solid receiver.
Especially for a second receiver.
Yeah, for a number 2 guy, it's not bad at all.
Number 2, excuse me. My fault entirely.
Yeah, my number 32, best performance I have ever seen out of any player live. It's Christian Watson. I snuck him into my top 32 because I wanted to. And he did absolutely nothing the first half of the season. No touchdowns. He had 70 yards. And then he had 6 games in a row where he scored a touchdown. He ended the season with 9 touchdowns, and that was all week 10 and afterwards. So nothing during the first half of the year. So he balled out when he was good.
Well, this is saying he has 7 touchdowns.
I thought he had 9. Oh, I think he had 2 rushing touchdowns or something like that.
Yeah. A versatile receiver, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they gave it to him on a few end arounds. I remember he had one against the Bears, and he must have had another one at some point then, but baller.
Yeah, he did.
Fan for life.
If he had done that good the whole season.
Rookie of the year.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, because if you kind of just double that, because he basically did nothing the first half, you're looking at about 1,400 yards and 14 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That puts him up next to Devontae Adams in some of those numbers.
That puts him right there with Devontae. Devontae Adams has 1,500 yards and 14 touchdowns.
14 touchdowns, which led the league.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we'll
we're
see if we
doing-
can keep that up next year.
We're doing it again. We're talking about our bottom guys.
Yeah, we're
for
trying not to spend a
lot.
lot of time, especially on the bottom of the list. So who's your number 31?
31, I got Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson really feels kind of low. Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Jets.
Yeah, I saw a lot of these names, and I kind of didn't really know who they were too well or see them play very much.
Rookie move.
It is a rookie move, but so like from 25 to 32 is kind of interchangeable for me for a lot of these guys.
That's fair.
They don't like stand out for any reason, but they're
'Cause
in
you've
the
never
order.
seen them play.
I've seen all of them play,
Okay.
but I haven't seen all of them play a lot. It's just kind of
You're not a tape dog out here? You're
Yeah.
not watching every play, every snap?
So like I have Gabe
Are
Davis.
you even a football fan?
I have Gabe Davis a little bit above Garrett Wilson. That's just because I've seen Gabe Davis play a little bit more. And I'm thinking about it now. Garrett Wilson definitely should be above Gabe Davis, but that's where I have him right now. So
Fair enough. My number 31 is Gabriel Davis. I think a lot of people are saying he had a disappointing season. I guess he kind of did, based on what was maybe expected of him, especially after the playoff game against the Chiefs, where he caught like 4 touchdowns. He was out here setting like every playoff record. But maybe a touch underwhelming. I still think he's a solid 2 for the Bills. They're still looking for someone else to come in there and be that too, whether it's Odell Beckham or DeAndre Hopkins or someone else, from the sounds of it at least. But Gabe Davis, definitely a solid receiver.
sure thing.
Are you
Who's
looking
your
up
number-
his numbers?
I am, but we're kind of taking too long with these short guys.
Okay,
so-
Gabe Davis is Gabe Davis.
He is, yeah.
Who's your 30?
Talking about him anyway. Gabe Davis is my 30 right there.
There you go.
He's a solid deep threat. He doesn't
Yeah.
really run the best routes or have the best hands
He
or
had like a
best jump balls.
98-yard touchdown against the Steelers earlier this year, right?
Well, yeah, because he can run the deep routes.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't run good.
Exactly. Yeah, he's not
I'm
the
not-
most consistent.
I guess that's what I'm saying. But he doesn't. He's not Stephon Diggs.
It's true. There's only one of those.
There is. He's him.
Plays for the Bills.
Who's your
My number
30?
30, Deontay Johnson. He had like 90 catches, 800 yards, 0 touchdowns. But when Mitchell Trubisky and Kenny Pickett are your quarterbacks, that's what happens.
Bomber, dude.
I think he's one of the first players, if not the first player, to have 90-plus receptions. Maybe it's 80-plus, something like that, and no touchdowns, or he's at least the first in a long time to have that
Who
happen.
was that?
Deontay Johnson.
Is he for the Steelers?
Yep.
Okay. I don't
was
have
their
him on
leading
mine. I
receiver.
took him out for
Ooh, you took him out. Did
for-
not make the cut.
for someone else.
Your 30 was Gabe Davis, right?
It was 30 or 29.
39. We're going up.
39. 29. I got Michael Pittman Jr.
Mm-hmm. Solid
29.
receiver for the Colts.
He's a Colts receiver. He's their number 1, and
Mhm.
that's kind of just because he's there and he can catch a ball.
Yep, he's good at it too. He does what Colts receivers do.
And that's just like get
Drop
the
the-
ball.
No, I don't. I don't think he has a problem with drops. But I don't also watch a ton of Colts games because I like enjoying my time and not wanting to rip out my eyeballs
You like enjoying your time?
for real. My number
Clip
29.
Clip that.
my number 29 is Super Bowl champion Juju Smith-Schuster of the Chiefs, now of the Patriots, but we're going off of last season here. Solid receiver, kind of just was their default go-to guy outside of Travis Kelce, obviously. But when they lost Tyreek Hill, they brought in him, and he kind of just defaulted to be their best receiver. Not a superstar. I mean, it's not like 2018 anymore where he had like 1,400 yards and as the number 2 in Pittsburgh, but he's serviceable as a 1.
Yeah, just under 1,000 yards with 3 touchdowns. He was good a bit ago, and he is still pretty good now, just a little bit less so. And
Yeah.
with Kelsey there getting 1,400 yards, it's kind of hard to get a lot there. But
For real.
he did what he did, and that's catch the ball and run it. And
Our analysis, next level.
it is
You
the
guys should be
next level.
paying us to listen to these.
Yeah, they're
Put these
actually.
behind a paywall.
I was gonna say
Pay up. Support
28.
us on Patreon. Number 28.
I got Mike Williams.
Okay, yeah, Mike Williams, big receiver there for the Chargers. Struggled with some injuries this season, but I mean, he plays for the Chargers. That's what you do. You get hurt.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Eckler had more yards than him.
Receiving, I think he did. I think Eckler might have had 900 some yards,
Yeah,
and Williams, I think, had 800.
Let me just check here.
But yeah, he's still a great receiver. I don't even think he's necessarily the Chargers' best receiver, but Keenan Allen was out for a good chunk of this year, so he kind of defaulted to be their number 1 guy, and I think he can fulfill that role pretty well.
Austin Eckler had about 100 yards less than him
Oh, okay.
receiving, and then he had
But total yards from scrimmage, he had way more.
from scrimmage. I think he had like 1,700 yards.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Out. My number 28, one of the newest members of the Chicago Bears, is DJ Moore, part of that big trade for Carolina to get that first overall pick. And Justin Williams, who is that?
I don't know.
Justin Fields, not even close.
You're the rookie now.
I am the rookie. Justin Williams is a fake player from my Albuquerque Vipers franchise. Justin Fields is he's got himself a true number one receiver now. DJ Moore hasn't had like a huge season in a minute now, but he's been on the Panthers and he's been playing with Sam Darnold and PJ Walker and Teddy Bridgewater also. So
Yeah.
not the best around him, like in his rookie year and when he was, early into the league, he had like Cam Newton thrown to him back when Cam Newton could throw a football. And so he did ball out then. I still think he's got that great potential there to be that guy for Chicago.
I saw like a meme. It was supposed to be Cam Newton talking. He's like, really, 32 MFs got employed before. 32 MFs are better than me. And it's funny.
It's true because last time he's been throwing the ball in an NFL game, he threw it to the dirt, which your receivers don't appreciate.
Yeah, that's
real.
That'll happen. Sometimes.
27, who do you got there?
Jerry Jeudy.
I also got Jerry Jeudy at 27, and it happened for real this time, not you copying my list.
Holy
so
crap.
that's like divine.
All right, let's not talk about Jerry Jeudy.
Let's
Who
not
you
talk
got at
about Jerry Jeudy.
26?
He was fine, but he's got hands of
Okay,
stone
you're
sometimes.
literally talking about him. Okay, it's not.
I'm talking negative about him, so it's okay.
At
Solid
26,
receiver,
I
but he
had
can't
Chris
catch.
Olave.
Chris Olave at 26, solid receiver. So you had him higher than Garrett Wilson, even though they were both rookie receivers and Wilson got rookie of the year.
Yeah, I know. I didn't really think about it.
I mean, like you said, they're all interchangeable for you. So I
I
mean,
think Garrett Wilson probably goes on top of everyone we've said so far.
what?
Like
My number-
on the list.
My number 26. My number 26 is Michael Pittman Jr. Talked about him, solid receiver. 25.
25. I got DJ Moore. We talked about him. He's not going to be on the Panthers anymore. Hopefully he does good.
Yep, been there, done that. Mike Williams, been there, done that. Solid receiver at 25. Who's your 24?
Wow, you're really cruising through him now. I got Christian Watson.
Christian Watson, the GOAT.
The best.
He'll go down as the greatest receiver of all time. Mark my words. I'm going to put my
Marked.
life on the line for that. I'm not
gonna
actually going to
Kill banana.
for this take.
Yeah.
My number 24, Brandon Ayuk. Leading receiver for the 49ers because Deebo Samuel got hurt and missed a handful of games. And Ayuk he's a solid target there for whoever the heck ends up throwing him the football.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's not hurt and falling apart that day.
Correct. 23, I got the biggest font in the world for George Pickens.
Biggest
Here,
font for
you guys
the
want to see this? This is
biggest
crazy.
oh, for the YouTube audience.
For the YouTube
Look
audience,
at his computer.
look at my computer and don't look
and
at the other
look
names.
how big that George
The font
Pickens
is very large. That's
It's-
what I'm trying to say.
pretty comical.
Very.
My number 23 is a very large receiver. His name is T. Higgins. Big guy. He'll go up there and get it.
Oh,
Moss
really?
and Fools.
That's kind of low.
For
T. Higgins?
Higgins, it is a touch low,
I think a lot.
but
lower,
I put him where I did,
Yeah.
and I'm going to stand by that for the rest of my life now.
George-
Same as my Christian Watson take.
I saw a stat or somebody doing analysis on stats about.
Us?
No.
Oh.
We do better analysis than anyone else.
It's true.
But this guy was doing some pretty good analysis too.
It was all right.
It was all right, yeah. And he was talking about contested catches and like the percent rate, and people like Justin Jefferson and Stephon Diggs and Devontae Adams and Debo and CeeDee Lamb and people like that.
No
Have
one
like
talks about Debo.
they were getting they're like 45%, 50%. I think the highest was like 55%, and then they got to George Pickens and his contested catch rate was 70%.
Holy cow.
And
So you
like
just
the highest in the league.
Throw it in his direction. He's coming down with that sucker.
Probably, yeah. And it's crazy. He has like sticky hands. He's in the conversation, I think, for best hands because he's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, if Kenny Pickett can take that next step next year, going into year 2, and be able to be a better quarterback, then Pickens might be in for a big season. Pickens and Pickett.
Dude, I hope so because I really like watching him play. He makes some crazy catches. He made that Odell catch
Yeah, the one against the Browns
against the Browns. Yeah,
Thursday night. That was a heck of a grab.
And
One
he
of the
wa-
best of the season,
and he
if
wa-
not the best.
yeah. I don't think that Justin Jefferson catch was all that, honestly.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Pickens had a better catch than Jettas.
Yeah.
Who was that? That was 23.
23, 22. I have Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper. He
Amari
feels a touch
Cooper.
low, but I mean, I had T Higgins low, so
You did, and I
an
think T.
eye
Higgins is
for an
better.
eye. I got at 22. I got Debo Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
He is a good player who got hurt and also wasn't as good this past season as he was the year before. So I think he could definitely bounce back though and not be hurt and play well.
the Swiss Army knife. That's what happens when you use your Swiss Army knife a lot. It breaks.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, he got paid, so good for him.
Yeah, good thing. 21. I got Juju Smith-Schuster.
Nice.
I think he is at 21 or around there. I think you had him a bit low.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. He's a solid route runner. He's not that physical. He's not that big. He's not that fast, but he can catch the ball.
I feel like he is kind of physical though. He
Is
is
he?
kind of big. Yeah.
Is he? Oh, well, from what I saw, maybe I was not looking at the same dude.
Maybe not.
Maybe I was looking at like an offensive lineman just kinda
Not physical at all.
Not
Those
physical.
linemen, they hate hitting other players.
touching people is just not in their thing.
No, number 21, I got Chris Olave, rookie receiver for the Saints, and very well could have been the rookie of the year. Wasn't, but still had a great campaign. I believe he was just shy of the 1,000-yard mark, and he was the Saints' number one receiver, especially after Michael Thomas got hurt. Big surprise.
Chris Olave.
Yep.
Um,
Jonathan's looking up his stats real quick here.
I
He's looking. I think he went too low.
I
'cause
may
now he's
have,
in
yeah.
Adam Thielen territory.
Olave, 18 in yards. He just broke 1,000.
Ah, nice.
I was scrolling and I saw Christian McCaffrey. I was like, whoa, hold on. What?
Oh, he's not a receiver.
He isn't, but he could.
I mean, he
play
definitely.
receiver.
He is a receiver in the sense that he's good at catching the ball, but officially listed on the depth chart.
741 yards for Christian McCaffrey.
And he played for two teams.
Yeah, and a 78.7% catch rate.
Yeah.
That's
Homeboy
pretty
balled out.
freaking good.
Let's see. That takes us to number 20 now. Who cracks our top 20?
I got Brandon Ayuk cracking it just barely.
Nice, solid receiver. Been there, done that. I got Tyler Lockett of the Seattle Seahawks, Mr. Consistent over there for all those years with Russell Wilson and now with Geno Smith. Always there, always making some great like toe drag swag catches. Got some great hands. Plays smart. Like he doesn't take a lot of big hits. He'll go down instead of getting hit. Which, I mean, some people are like, oh, he's a wuss, but I'd say he's saving himself from a lot of CTE and he's extending his career like 5 extra years.
Yeah. I kind of see Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf as like the lesser A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yeah,
They're both kind of
because they both got like that big physical guy, and then you got the little smaller guy.
smaller guy doing some really shifty, good catches and
Yep.
being smart.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to those guys a bit later, but 19, I have Debo Samuel. I think you had him low, obviously, because I had mine higher.
Yeah, a big part of that had to do with his injury, though. Like if he didn't get hurt, he would definitely have been higher on the list.
Same here. But I think he, at 20 or 19 or 18, somewhere around there is probably where he should be,
Yeah,
for me at least. But I also have the offensive rookie in the year at like 29, so
yeah.
don't listen to me.
My number 19, I got Chris Godwin, a little bit higher than you had him, but I mean, again, he only played. I don't know how many games he was out. I think he was out 4 or 5 games, something like that, and still broke the 1,000-yard mark. So he was good, and of course, as the number 2 guy, he's getting a lot more single coverage than someone like a Mike Evans is getting, which definitely helps him out. But solid receiver, especially for an offense that really struggled this season. He still put up some solid numbers.
Yeah, Chris Godwin just broke 1,000 yards there, 1,022. He played 15 games.
Oh, okay. I thought he played less for some reason.
Well, he played less than 17.
It's true.
He missed two games and still got 1,000 yards, pretty good, 3 touchdowns.
Might be a touch high on my list, but
Maybe a touch high, but that's all right. Number 18, I got Tyler Lockett. We're on the same place you did.
Yep.
Same kind of reasons there.
my number 18 is Garrett Wilson, the offensive rookie of the year. I think he was around the 1,000-yard mark as well. Pretty similar stats to Chris Olave, I believe, and just kind of beat him out in that category. I guess he actually barely beat out Kenneth Walker, technically, for the Offensive Rookie of the Year. But when it comes to rookie wide receivers, I think they had pretty similar numbers.
Dang, he had 1,100 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. So about 100 yards more than Olave and about the same amount of touchdowns, I think. So
He had a 55% catch ratio. 55% catch percentage, though. Or 50 something. Where'd he go?
is that like for when he gets targeted?
Yeah.
Catch percentage?
Catch percentage.
Receptions divided by targets. Okay.
Something like that.
Huh.
So,
Solid receiver, though, for
receiver,
those
yeah.
New York Jets. Who's your
I
17?
think he'll be really good next year, too.
Oh, yeah, when Aaron Rodgers, if he plays for the Jets,
Fingers crossed, guys. Come on.
throws to
Us
him.
Jets fans
Oh, yeah.
should probably
I've
just
never met a Jets fan in my life, and I hope I never do.
facts. Go somewhere else.
Go back to New York.
Go back to New York.
What was that
Those
accent?
Packers. That was
Oh,
like
okay.
Midwest.
I was going New York accent.
Oh, you like come back to us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got 17. I got Mike Evans.
Number 17. Mike Evans. Quietly like a Hall of Famer, honestly. Like he's had at least 1,000 yards every year of his career. That goes back to 2014.
Yeah.
Like I think it's him and like Randy Moss, and he might have more 1,000-yard seasons consistently in a row than Randy Moss. So
Yeah, he's quietly just like that guy.
he's very consistent, and he's really physical too. Like he'll go up and he'll come down with those footballs.
1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns, and he missed 2 games.
Mm-hmm. We'll
Um,
see if he stays around in Tampa. There are some rumors that they might be shopping him. Maybe he goes to the Bills. Ooh.
I sure hope so. I'd love to see him there.
One guy that I was kind of hoping would go to the Bills didn't end up happening though was Jamal Williams. I was like, that would have been a lot of fun. You would have really liked that.
I would have really liked that. We need
Instead,
a
he
good
went to
running
the
back.
Saints because for whatever reason the Lions didn't bring him back.
Which is crazy,
Wah,
dude.
wah.
He broke the record and everything.
Yeah, and he was like a huge leader for that team, and he had
Yeah, and he was good for publicity. And
and the Lions were like, nah,
how about no? This is why the Lions are always bad. As soon
For
as they
real.
get somebody good, they're just like, how about
allergic.
somebody else take him?
They're like, oh, we have one of the best running backs of all time in Barry Sanders. No,
Is that up to Dan Campbell?
what?
The trading?
More or less, it's more so the GM. I mean, it kind of varies team to team. A lot of times the GM is more in charge of the players who are there, but the coach definitely has a say in that. So
Because I kind of feel like he's getting shafted. Because I know he's a good coach, but
Yeah.
he just can't really.
But I mean, they brought in David Montgomery to replace him, so nice.
Good for them, I guess. I hope they do good this year.
My number, let's see, that was 17, right?
Oh, 17, we're on to 16.
17. My number 17, DeAndre Hopkins. He definitely would have been higher if he hadn't been suspended for the first half of the season. Still almost had like 800 yards, or I think he was in the 700 to 800 yard range, and still had himself a good handful of touchdowns. And that was without Kyler Murray throwing to him for the last quarter of the season as well. So just throw it up in his direction. He's coming down with it. We'll see if he stays on the Cardinals this upcoming season. Another guy who could go to the Bills.
717 yards, 3 touchdowns. He played 9. What the
9
frick was
games.
9?
What's going on?
He played 9. He played 9 games.
There you go, like a real man.
Thank you. So
One of the
I
best
definitely
receivers in the
had him
NFL
a
still.
bit high. Yeah, but he's definitely one of the best.
For real, one of the receivers in the NFL. All right, that's the
I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer too.
I think so, yeah. That's our first 16. So now in the second half, who is your number 16 receiver?
Oh, my number 16, I got Amon-Ra St. Brown talking about the
Those
Lions
Lions.
already.
Yep, can't wait for them to cut him next year after he breaks the record for receiving.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He's the new Megatron, and then they're like, how about no?
They say we're in the playoffs? Stop. I like having January off.
Stop. Go home.
For real. That's why people love playing for the Lions. They get more time off.
They like watching the Super Bowl.
For
not
real.
being there.
My number 16, I got Christian Kirk. A lot of people criticized that move when the Jags got him. They said, oh, he's never had a 1,000-yard season or anything like that. And he goes to the Jags. Boom, 1,000-yard season. Honestly, a great pickup. And, initially like $20 million for Christian Kirk. And now it's like kind of a steal when guys like, Devontae Adams, they're getting $30 million. So like $20 million for Christian Kirk is pretty fair, actually.
1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. He played all 17 games. Pretty good for me.
Mhm.
I'd give him $20
Good
million.
number one to have right there.
I'd give him $20 million just to like be my friend.
For real, I would. Christian Kirk, we know you're watching. Please
I don't have
answer
any
my
friends.
please answer my calls.
At 15, talking about him, I had him just one spot higher
Christian
than
Kirk?
you. Christian Kirk. There he is.
He's there.
He is
Number
there.
15.
Who's your
Maybe we
53?
can rank him higher. He'd call back.
We, in our hearts, we know you're number one,
Number 1 in our hearts.
but like stats wise and like
Go
In
put
our-
up 1,700 yards.
in our brains,
We hate you in our brains, but we love you in our hearts, Christian.
my mind's telling me no, but my body is telling me yes.
It's so true. My number 15
And
is
$20 million.
my number 15 is DK Metcalf of the Seattle Seahawks. He does what he does, and there was that video when he jumped really high that was definitely not edited.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool.
At 14, I got T. Higgins.
Top tier analysis.
I may have had him a bit high here, and you
Maybe
definitely
a
had him low.
bit low. We should like meet in the middle and just like put him at 20 in
I-
both of our lists.
I think 18's probably. I think he's a bit better than Tyler Lockett.
Because I got him at 23. You got him at 15. So like 18
I
or
got
19
14.
around there.
I
14
think he's
now.
better than Tyler Lockett. And on my list, Tyler Lockett's at 18, so he can take that 18 spot for me.
Okay, there you go. My number 14 is Among Us St. Brown. Gets him every time.
I'm gonna kill myself.
He's a good receiver. And we already talked about him. So you know that he's good now. And top guy for Detroit. Can't wait for them to cut him.
My number 13 was Devontae Among Us. Smith.
Devontae Adams.
Shut
Devontae Adams at 13.
Devontae-
Devonta Smith, yeah.
Devontae Among Us.
He had a good season. Great number 2 for Philadelphia to have. I mean, he'd be a number 1 for a lot of other teams in the NFL.
On glizzy itching.
So good pickup by the Eagles when they drafted him a couple years ago, and
Crazy.
he has
Almost.
been that guy.
Shut up. 12. Almost 1,200 yards. He played all 17 games and got 7 touchdowns, and that's with A.J. Brown getting close to 1,500 yards and 11 touchdowns. So, bruh's balling out.
For real. Number 13? Was that your number 13?
That was number
there?
13. Yeah, what was your number 13?
My number 13 is Amari Cooper. The Browns got him for a bag of chips and a soda. Sent him over to the Cowboys, or sent those over to the Cowboys for Amari Cooper. And absolute steal. Great weapon for Jake Brisket and then Massage Boy to be throwing to him. Brisket was a little bit better at throwing to him.
You're
Massage Boy
just-
was throwing into the dirt.
Saying a lot of words today, aren't you?
I mean, that's what podcasts are for me to say my
a
words.
lot of dumb words.
This is what goes on inside my brain.
Please keep it there.
I don't think it's dumb that Amari Cooper's at 13, though. I think that's a good place to
I'm
have
at
him.
22, so yeah.
You
don't,
are
Don't
dumb.
listen to me. Don't listen to me.
We're both really, really stupid and should not be allowed outside of the house.
That's why we film indoors.
Yes. Imagine if they let us film outside. We should ask them next
You
time.
can stop talking.
Who's your number 12?
It's I got Scary Terry.
Scary Terry at number
Scary
12.
Terry.
Samesies, bro. Oh my gosh, we got so much in common.
We should both kill ourselves.
Scary Terry at number 12. He makes some great catches for those Washington Redskins, Commanders, Commies boys football team.
Just under 1,200 yards, 15 or 5 touchdowns. Excuse me.
And that's
Oh
with
my
like a
goodness.
different quarterback throwing to him every like 3 games.
And none of the quarterbacks were good.
For real, like the best quarterback he's played with is Taylor Heineke, I guess.
Bunch of high school talent quarterbacks.
Alex Smith threw to him, but that was like after he broke his leg and almost died.
No one really cares.
Like he's like never had a good quarterback, and now I guess Jake Brisket will be throwing to him. So
Let's
good
go.
for
I love
him.
brisket.
Love me some Jake.
So
Brisket.
yummy, dude.
Number 11, who you got there?
I got Whittly Waddley. Jalen Waddle.
See, now you're just saying words.
Waddley.
Jalen
1,300 and a half yards.
and a half.
13
He had a half yard in there.
13 and 100 and a half. So 1,350
What?
yards.
1,300 and a
13 and a half hundred.
1,350.
50, yeah, that's how many, and 8 touchdowns. Bro was clapping cheeks, if I'm gonna be honest here.
Please, we promote honesty heavily on this show.
Yeah, I think they're the first receiver duo to get
Wow.
over. Shut up! They're the first receiver duo
Uh-huh.
to get over 3,000 yards combined.
That's possible.
That happened.
It might be. I don't know. I'm not going to fact check.
You sound idiot.
I all the time. All right.
Oh,
my
man.
number. What are we on? 11. I got Mike Evans. A little bit higher than you had him. I think he's still one of the top receivers in the league. And so he's doing this thing, and I think number 11 is a good ranking for him. Cracking the top 10 now.
1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. We already talked about him. Top 10. I got DK Metcalf at my number 10 spot.
Yeah, that's fair. Good receiver. Goes up, and he gets it. Sometimes he fumbles when he isn't supposed to, like that one time in 2019.
He does what who does he play for?
The Seahawks.
He does what Seahawks receivers do, and that's catch the ball.
It was way funnier than I said that last week. You're not funny.
Suck start a pistol. I mean,
It's going to be like the most suicide references we've had in an episode.
oh, yeah.
Most of them are yours.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You got to love it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Devonta Smith is my number 10 receiver. That's right. The Eagles have 2 top 10 receivers. Balling, and they still couldn't win the Super Bowl.
L. Huge L.
Common Eagles L.
Eagles won't
Good thing David doesn't listen to this
suck
podcast.
start a pistol.
Man, you're just really
Eagles
into it.
fans.
Number
go
9.
Die.
Who you got?
DeAndre Hopkins. I think he's still in the
D-Hop.
top 10. He is a receiver.
Uh-huh. Man, our analysis, we're just killing it. Hire us, ESPN, NFL Network. Give me a call. Also, Christian Kirk, call me back.
My analysis isn't the only thing we'd be going to be killing.
So my number 9, I got Jalen Waddle, the Penguin,
Ridley
for
Waddle.
for those Miami Dolphins. Him and Hill, I mean, my goodness.
Best receiver duo in the league.
Yeah, like, good luck covering them. I mean, teams couldn't do it last year.
Won't be able to do it this year.
If only they had a quarterback who could get the ball to them.
Well, they did for a couple weeks. And
Yeah,
then
until
Yep.
for real.
Vine boom. I got 8 now. Who's your 8? You go first this time.
I got CD Lamb.
CD's nuts. I got Cooper.
We're just on something else today, and I don't think it's a good thing.
I got Cooper Cup. CD Lamb had 1,300.5 yards
You're
and
really committing to it, aren't you?
9 touchdowns. He is a good receiver.
Great job stepping up into that number 1 role for the Cowboys. You know, they traded away Amari Cooper. They were betting a lot on CeeDee Lamb being good, and he was. And I think he's a solid number 1 guy for them to have.
He filled that hole pretty well.
Yep. What are you?
He was
where
better.
Are you going? Where are you
He was-
scrolling?
I'm looking.
What stats are you looking for?
I don't know.
Okay. John's out here trying to kill time to do nothing.
No, I was looking for Amari Cooper to see
okay.
what the comparison was.
Yeah, he had I think 300 more yards than Cooper, and it's not a better team. So
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Number 7, I had CeeDee Lamb, just a touch higher than you.
and I had Jamar Chase.
Jay Chizzy.
Probably would have had him a little bit higher, but he missed about a month or so of playing with I think
Mhm.
a back injury or something.
Yeah.
So he just had over 1,000 yards, but I mean, he is very difficult to cover on that field.
Uh-huh.
Take it from me.
In an interview, as Joe Burrow was saying, he's like, just F it, throw it up there. Chase is down there somewhere.
For real, and he does it, and he's down there somewhere, and he's hauling that in.
Yeah, and then he beat his kid
Did he?
or something.
What?
Was that?
Are you thinking of Joe Mixon?
Oh, same. Yeah,
Same team,
same team.
wrong player.
Wrong player. Did Jamar Chase not beat his kid? I feel like he totally did.
There was a thing that was like his girlfriend or something like that was like, I could end his career right now with these photos on my phone, and then people were like, okay, then do it, and then she didn't. So I call cap.
Yeah, he missed 5 games, still had 9 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards. Baller.
If he doesn't get
Baller.
hurt, he might have been top 3 for me. Definitely top 5, I think.
Yeah. Number 6 now.
That would come next. Who you got?
I got Jamar Chase.
Jamar
We're
Chase.
off by 1. Well, with a lot of these.
I got Cooper Cup.
Hey, we just switched them.
Oh yeah, because did you have Cup it? No, you had.
I'd
CeeDee
cover
Lamb.
Ape. Excuse me.
An ape.
Can you stop being the worst?
Can you stop saying words that you don't mean to say?
You don't know that
We're
I
on a
meant to say
podcast.
that
We're
or not.
professionals. Cooper Cup, if again another guy, if he didn't get hurt, would definitely be higher. I think he only played 9 games. He still had like 800 yards though, and he was catching like a touchdown every game. He was carrying your fantasy team that first half of the season to like a 1-7 record. But like the reason he won that one game was Cooper Cup.
Yeah, he had 6 touchdowns on 9 games and 800 yards.
John's really bad at fantasy football. Like, I'm bad, and he's just really bad.
I still beat you in the Pooper Bowl.
You didn't. Actually. You beat Ty.
I beat out the bracket. Ty crapped on you, and I beat Ty.
Yeah. He was not good. Anyway,
Take the L, loser.
neither of us made the playoffs. We're both bad.
In the Pooper Bowl, like the lower 8 teams that didn't make the playoffs,
Yep.
I won that bracket.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm better than
Good
him.
for you. You're the best out of the losers.
Shut up. You're the worst.
Let's
Shut
see.
the
Where were we
frick
on?
up.
That was number 6, Cooper Cup. Who was your 6?
Jamar Chase.
There we go.
Stop
When they're
looking at
done
my list.
My number 5, cracking the top 5 now. A.J. Brown, huge trade to the Philadelphia Eagles for them to pick him up. And, I mean, that was a big part of them going to the Super Bowl, was getting that number 1. To, get that double coverage onto him to let someone like a Devonta Smith just ball out. And then, A.J. Brown, he did his thing. He was going up there, bringing down passes from Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl. He had that, 50-yard touchdown
Yeah.
in the first half there. Homeboy's a baller.
Yeah, I'm looking at my list and I'm realizing one of these guys should have been higher than the others, but I had Stephon Diggs at 5.
Okay.
I want to put him above AJ Brown because I have AJ Brown at 4.
Mm-hmm.
I blanked on it.
Okay.
So
You want to just flip it right now?
yeah, so
So your 5 is A.J. Brown,
5 is AJ Brown, just like you.
and your 4 is Stephon Diggs then?
Yeah.
Samesies. We got so much in common. Stephon Diggs, after kind of having a little bit of a down year statistically in 2021,
On my fantasy team.
huge year in 2022. Here, I think he was 3rd or 4th in receiving, and he's still that guy. He's still that guy for those Buffalo Bills,
He's him for sure.
for real. Number 3 now, cracking the top 3. Who you got at 3?
Well, hold on, let me just.
Oh, you want to look at numbers? Let's
Diggs
see.
had 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns, and he missed a game.
Mm-hmm.
Just below AJ Brown, about 60 yards below AJ Brown.
Okay, yeah, so they're pretty
Same
interchangeable there.
touchdowns. Same touchdowns, and he missed a game.
I would say
Stephon
Diggs
Diggs
is
missed a
better
game.
though too.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
you missed that game, and then also AJ Brown was on a more talented roster. I mean, give or take with that. Part of it's I don't really care about that, but
Part of it's no one asks or cares or shut
Honestly.
up, but so yeah, there's that.
top 3. Who you got at number 3?
Top 3, I got Devontae Adams at
You
number
got
3.
Devontae Adams at 3. I got Tyreek Hill
Oh,
number 3. Another huge trade in the offseason was of
Definitely.
course him to the Dolphins, and which helped out Jalen Waddle big time. Helped out the Dolphins as a whole big time.
helped out the Chiefs too.
Still won the Super Bowl.
What the frick?
He's probably over here. I mean, yeah, he didn't win the Super Bowl, but he gets to live in Miami instead of Kansas City. So, I mean, who's the real winner? It's the Chiefs.
Still them.
It's still
yeah,
the Chiefs.
Definitely still them.
Yeah, I think he had the best year of his career, though, with those Dolphins. I think, did he lead the league in receiving, or was he close?
He
1,700 yards?
was 90 yards, 99 yards less than Justin Jefferson,
Mm-hmm.
and he had 7 touchdowns.
Yeah. Tyreek
So-
Hill doing Tyreek Hill things. He is fast.
Yeah, he got 170 targets
Wow.
and 119 catches.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so 70% catch rate.
70% catch rate, which is
One of the best in the league.
one of the best
Looks
in
like
the
it.
league. Tied with Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs has a tiny bit more. Kelsey's not a receiver. He has a bit more. Amon St. Brown has a bit more, but a lot of these
So
people
one of the
he's above them.
best catch percentages in the league.
Yeah, sticky hands. Sticky
Mhm.
hands for a short little guy like that.
And he's done a great job in his career because he started off just being a punt return guy because he was fast, but then just developing his receiving skills there in Kansas City to become that guy.
Yeah. Who's the guy they have on the Chiefs now who's fast?
Kadarius Toney,
Kadarius Toney, yeah. I think
Yeah.
he could be good.
kind of like a Tyreek Hill-esque
He's
player
a scary looking dude.
for real.
Freaking weird looking
Him and George Pickens, they got those
fricker.
hoods on.
Yeah, they do. That's freaking weird.
And your number 3
People.
was Devontae Adams.
He is, yeah.
I think it was a big year for Devontae because, first year without Aaron Rodgers, playing with Derek Carr there. And he still put up those numbers. It's, frick it, Devontae Adams is down there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he was. And he would come down with everything like that. I mean,
180 targets.
this guy is insane.
Yeah, 1,500 yards. The only person with 1,500 yards because the other 2 people above him had more. And
Yep.
he had 14 touchdowns, which is it led the league in receiving touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what matters, not the yards.
That's all that matters is touchdowns
Only thing that matters.
in life.
Yeah,
Touchdowns.
yeah. I'm gonna go get some after this. You want to come?
Get some touchdowns?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, we gotta finish though. Who's your number 2?
My number 2, I got Justin Jefferson
Dang, really?
as
You
my number 2.
put Adams at 1. I got Justin.
I didn't
Jefferson.
say that. I got Romeo Dobbs at number 1.
I got Justin Jefferson at 2 as well.
Mm-hmm. Jay Jettas, great year. He had like 3 games that were only like 5 yards, but like outside of those games, I mean, he still had 1,800 yards.
Offensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this year for him was as good as Cooper Kupp's year last year. Stats.
I mean, yeah, I agree. He had, I think he had less. He had less yards.
He had less yards. He had less touchdowns.
Because Cup had the Triple Crown. Mm-hmm.
He should have got
Try
the
again?
MVP.
Justin Jefferson.
No. Cooper Kupp.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, are we still on this?
Cooper Kupp definitely should have got the MVP last year.
Yeah,
Um,
if it was not a quarterback award.
They should just
100%.
change it to the most valuable quarterback and then like the MVP for the rest of the people there.
Or they just make it the most valuable player, and then they actually vote based off of that.
But they're not going to because they want to give quarterbacks
Well,
awards.
I think that is going to change, but with the new voting system and all that.
I don't
but
think so
We'll see.
because I haven't been here very long and I'm cynical and I don't know what I'm talking about. So
Checks
yeah.
out. Justin
Pretty cool.
Jefferson, number 2 for both of us. Great player.
Yeah. My number 1 is Tyreek Hill. I think he's a
Fair.
much better receiver, more consistent than Justin Jefferson. He had more yards than Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams was the only guy really on the Raiders who could, catch the ball. And
Yeah. I mean, they still had Darren Waller and Hunter Renfro.
yeah, but Darren Waller was out for a lot of it. Hunter Renfro was okay.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams was that guy, and then they had Josh Jacobs running the ball as well,
Mm-hmm. Grounded and pounding.
grounded and pounding, ridiculous yardage.
For real. See where
But-
we ranked him in our last episode.
Click right here, right now. And I know you can't do that.
All right, there we go.
But yeah, Devontae Adams, I think 3 is good for him because Justin Jefferson definitely had a better year stats wise, and
Yeah.
Devontae Adams is really good, but I don't think he's the best this year. He's a
I do
old
like
dude.
you putting Hill at 1 because I feel like most people out for their number 1, it's either Justin Jefferson or Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
And so putting Hill at 1, that's cute of you and all that.
Shut up. He's at 1. He's at 1 because he can get the ball and then keep going with it.
Yeah.
He can get touchdowns. He moves you down the field.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, you can take a 5-yard slant and take it 80 yards.
Yeah. And his quarterback was, tripping nuts the whole time because his brains were all mushy. And Jalen Waddle got 1,300 yards. So if you can get 1,700 yards and your second receiver can get 1,300 yards,
Yeah.
I think you deserve to be up there. Because, if he didn't have a number 2 receiver, I think he would have done better than he did, honestly.
2,000 yards?
I don't know about that, but maybe.
Yeah.
'Cause,
I could see that, though, especially if with more consistent quarterback play back there.
Mm-hmm.
Either Tua's not constantly getting hurt or Tua's more accurate,
Or even, bring someone else in who isn't Teddy Two Gloves.
That's
Or-
what they did. Mike
or
White, New York
Might-
Jet.
Or not.
Or not a Jet. He's a Dolphin now.
Yeah. Or bring somebody who can give him the ball and not throw it, right at his feet. Because that's what
Don't
Tua
bring
did.
in Cam Newton.
Yeah. But, yeah, he might have broke 2,000 yards, honestly.
I think him and Jefferson, at midseason, were both on pace for that.
Mm-hmm.
Both slowed down a little bit. because,
Jefferson got
that's just what
slammed
happens.
by
Jair, his father.
Jair Father Alexander.
Yep.
Destroyed him. What did he get, 20 yards that game?
I think something like that, yeah.
Stupid.
I think he had one catch for 18 yards, or it was something like that. Yeah.
And then he slammed his helmet on a ref.
yeah, almost clocked him.
Yeah, so you can't be doing that and
And be
call
the best
yourself the
receiver in
best
the league.
receiver. But you can be number 2.
That's why Myles Garrett plays defensive end
Mm-hmm.
and not receiver.
Yeah.
And then, of course, my one is Adams, which we already hit on him. So
We already hit on him. I think you might have a bit of bias because he was on the Packers and you liked watching him, and you've been watching him for a while probably. But
100% I'm biased.
I like Tyreek Hill because
Why do you like him?
no reason. He's fast.
Because he beat his kid that one time. You seem to
Stop. Don't say
you
things I
seem to
didn't
be drawn
say.
to that.
Don't say things I didn't say. I didn't say that.
Well, if you're watching on YouTube, let us know in the comments section down below what you think of our rankings.
I
and
thought of it though.
on who your number one receiver is, and maybe your top 5, whatever. Same on Spotify. I'm gonna do the little question card thingy below again, and
Yeah.
let us know what's up down there. And
Oh,
who
we
your
got
top
we
receivers
got
are.
one last week.
Oh yeah, someone used the freaking the
Somebody
card
used
thing.
it, and it was so good of them. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you for doing that. You're the first interaction on the podcast.
Yeah, maybe that just starts it though. It's like everyone was afraid to talk to us because we're so famous.
All it takes is that first person, and then it just normalizes.
Yeah,
it.
just a little bit of a push, and then you can get out there.
So all 8 million of our listeners.
Yeah, and Christian.
Leave
what's
the
his
thing
name?
down
Christian
below.
Kirk.
Christian Kirk.
Christian
Kirk,
comment.
we know you're watching, man.
Dude, we know you're a little bit scared. Crowds scare you a little bit, but
A little bit. I mean, I don't know how you play in front of 80,000 people.
blindfolded probably.
Probably blindfolded. It
That's how
explains
Tua
your time in
plays.
Arizona. So
Oh, I was hoping for a joke like that. What's the comment say?
the comment says, my man J.K. Dobbins going to make the list next year when he stops getting hurt all the freaking time. If he stops tearing his ACL every 6 months,
Don't know who that is.
he will be good. He's the Ravens running back.
Oh, a Ravens
And
fan.
he was pretty good for a couple of years, and then he tore his ACL, and then he got hurt again doing something else, probably playing football.
I bet
So-
Ravens running backs love it when Lamar just takes off.
Just be glad we didn't put Lamar on the list.
What?
And also be glad that Lamar's still on your team right now.
Because he might not be soon.
Fingers crossed.
Cross the fingers. He's coming to the Bills as a running back.
I mean, they need a running back, so.
Yeah, they
there
need
you
a
go.
better quarterback too. Man, that Josh Allen guy.
Such a bum. I hate Josh Allen.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.